Good morning and welcome to episode 1698 of Hard Factor. It is Monday, April 28th, 2025. Thank you for cheating on the news with us. 80% accuracy guaranteed on this podcast. Patreon.com/Hard Factor if you need more Hard Factor. Today, I'm going to hit you with the top 3 trends from this past weekend. Biggest, worst, and best in that order.
What do you say, Pat? Trend me, daddy.
Trend me, daddy.
With
Don't trend on me, daddy.
Yeah, these trends are so trendy. It's trends with a Z.
That's very trendy, dude.
TRENDZ.
Do you ever see?
Not S.
You ever see a brick and mortar business? Sometimes it's usually like a smoke shop, where they throw the Z in there. Sometimes it's a hairstylist place or a barbershop.
It's a great play. Yeah.
Is it a great play? I'm always thinking this isn't going to last long. That's what I think.
It lets you know that they're down for shady business.
Yeah.
Is that what that means?
Yeah, when you have a Z out of place. Yeah.
I think it means $2 signs or less on the Google Maps, right? And then yeah.
Affordable, potentially shady.
Like you can't overcharge me if you're going to toss the Z in there.
No refunds.
No.
Definitely not.
Yeah.
Probably going to break whatever you get.
Z stands for zero refunds.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. There's probably a lot of strip clubs with dreams with a Z.
Oh yeah. Desires. Mm-hmm. Dreams.
I don't think you throw a Z on desires.
Desires with a Z would be something.
Double Z.
Desires.
Whoa, what's going on here? Whoa.
I'd go to that strip club. Yeah. So it's gonna get crazy in the trends. There's some good ones. There's one really bad one. I'm doing it in the middle, like a trend sandwich, where the bad one hopefully is more palatable with the funnier ones.
Desires.
I've got a same sort of thing. I got a trio of family members misbehaving. So you'll probably recognize a group of people or something. I'm going to tell you, and then their family members are the ones misbehaving, and the one in the middle is real bad. So I'm going to sandwich the worst one in the middle.
It's great.
Cool.
My bad. And then I got a story about advertising.
Okay.
Sometimes I like to do this. I like to tell you some things about a subject that has nothing to do with a crime, and then intertwine them. And it's a fun one of those.
I like it.
It has to do with marijuana and advertising.
Very cool.
Mm-hmm.
Very chill.
It's very chill.
Marijuana advertising is great. It's some of my favorite advertising because it's one of my favorite products, and so I love to study it. I love to look at it, and I'm excited to learn more about it.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Where don't you want to see a Z at the end? Medical clinics, dentists.
Your doctor.
Yeah.
Your doctor. Yeah, you don't want to go to
with the Z or something like that. Oh, good.
Gynecologists.
Oh yeah, you don't want that.
Want to see that. Okay.
Yeah, your doctor. That's 100% the one place you don't want to see the Z.
Yeah.
Anything else?
A pharmacy called drugs.
No, you do want to see that. You do want to see that.
Yeah, that one you want to see because they're going to go light on the paperwork. Everything's going to be easy. If they can give you the pills, they're going to give you the pills. At that spot.
At Drugs with the Z, they're like, come on over for your consultation, and you just high five the guy.
Right. Yeah. I can't give you these pills, but I can give you the pills.
Right? Yeah, pills.
Right. It's a legal workaround.
Everything would have Z's. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Dude, drugs is a great spot. We should open up a drugs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Insurance. Yeah. Anyway.
What did you expect? We weren't going to pay out insurance with the Z. You idiot.
A lot of stuff. Like satire law, parody law. Well, we have a Z in our name. How did they expected results?
What'd you want from me? Look, did you seriously put mom in an assisted living facility, a nursing home with a Z in the name?
Yeah.
Old.
We purposely have the Z so everybody knows we're not serious.
Yeah.
It might work. I don't know. Okay. Trends with the Z. Like I said, going to hit you with the top 3 from over this last weekend. Biggest, worst, best. that order specifically. Sports isn't normally on the front page of the news, but it is after the NFL draft in the USA because Americans love two things: football and then arguing about football.
Yeah.
Who's top two in America that we like to do?
Sign me up.
Yeah, it's like football. People like to argue about football like they like to argue about politics.
You say anything about football, and I'll just argue the other side. Go.
Exactly. Yeah, a lot of devil's advocacy going on. The Discord server and the Hard Factor server was bumping all weekend, tracking the draft. And this draft was electric with the Shedeur Sanders draft slide. Of course, that's what I'm talking about here. Shedeur Sanders was listed as the second, best quarterback or second quarterback likely to go on all the mock drafts. I'm showing you the consensus mock draft, going in. And he was supposed to go to the Steelers at 21, everybody thought. Turns out Aaron Rodgers is going to the Steelers. And yeah, even though the mock drafts had him as like the second best, I thought he was more like fourth to eighth best quarterback in this draft. Top 10 for sure, but I think a lot of people didn't have him number 2.
Sure. I think ESPN had a stat that he was 99% likely to go within the first 22 picks.
You would have made a ton of money betting he goes in the 5th round.
No one had him going past maybe a very, very few people had him going in the 2nd round, but almost unanimously first round pick.
28th best player on most draft boards of all players.
But position rank, a lot of people had him as 2, and quarterback's the most important position. So
right. Look, I went back through, as I do every year. The draft is my least favorite time of news leading up to any event because it's the most clickbaity headlines of all time. It's like, this trade will blow your mind if it happens. And then like that, then it's, a potential, a mock draft.
Fiction, yeah.
But I always go back and I look and see who got drafted when. Right, how effective is how many second rounders turn into starters or stars, third rounders, etc. And the number of quarterbacks that you have forgotten about that have been drafted in the first round will blow your fucking mind.
Quarterback is very hit or miss. I mean, most of them are miss, right?
My point being, normally teams they'll make that dumb move in the first round every year to the tune of usually like 5 quarterbacks, almost every year. The fact that Shedeur didn't go.
Last year, 6 were picked in the first 15.
Well, they were all good. It was the first year where they were all good last year. This year, the quarterback class was much weaker.
Right.
And Cleveland Shedeur allegedly told them, not to draft him number 2 overall. They took him up on his generous offer and waited to draft him until the 5th round, being the second quarterback taken by the Cleveland Browns behind Dylan Gabriel. And so Dylan Gabriel was taken in the 3rd, Shedeur taken in the 5th at pick number 144, both by the Browns.
I got to ask you,
biggest slide ever?
No, I mean, it's the same exact thing happened to Sam Howell a couple years ago, 1st to 5th. Nobody really fucking
But Sam
cared.
Howell and Shedeur Sanders are different animals in terms of what they can do.
It led to people like Stephen A. Smith calling it Kaepernick 2.0, implying that racism was behind the draft slide. All I know is that Shedeur allegedly told the Browns not to draft him at number 2.
That's what I want to know about.
They definitely took him up on that offer, and I don't think he liked the results necessarily, but he handled it well. So
I was talking to a couple friends of mine of color to get their take, and their take was, confident black man. A lot of people don't like a confident black man. And I brought up the Eli Manning thing, right? The don't draft us San Diego situation.
Right.
And he was like, I wonder what that would, what, I guess that's how it played out. I guess kind of. So if you tell a team, maybe?
Except for Eli Manning, who's like everybody knew he was going to be a Hall of Famer. I don't think anybody feels that Shedeur Sanders is a slam dunk Hall of Famer.
Cam Ward was the first overall pick. I think that it happens to be that Shedeur is black, right? And it happens to be that his son he's the son of Deion, and he probably was a little bit cocky in the interviews, and Deion's a handful to deal with. And he's doing all these things. He's just Shedeur, and he was.
Yeah, Cam Ward went above him. So did Jalen Milroe.
Yeah, I don't think it's about race. I think it's about a shitty situation where everyone overhyped this kid, and to the point where he's throwing this huge legendary party that's being filmed.
It is annoying that he keeps saying legendary about everything.
Yeah,
because well, look, again, that was just one take, but here's what I do agree with: the take that, and especially in the NIL era, when you can have a megastar right, in college, and then especially when you have the situation where you have one of the most famous football players of all time who's currently active in media's son, right, that a lot of teams, you don't want the headache of bringing a guy on who's that hyped.
Dude, you don't want your
unless you have Mahomes in front of him.
Yeah.
Right, you don't want to be the backup quarterback to be the number one story.
Well,
on
the Eagles were about
unless
to
you're the Browns.
That's why the Browns drafted up, because the Eagles were like, we can deal with all this.
Yeah, that's a good situation. He knows he'll never start over Jalen Hurts unless Jalen Hurts is hurt.
It's a backup plan. Yeah.
Right. I mean, if I just don't understand the whole the whole thing Stephen A. was going with.
Shitstorm of a comedy of errors, like Lemony Snicket's series of unfortunate events, with the media blowing him up, with him failing all of his interviews. With it was just like all eyes were on him, and everyone had it wrong. Like, he was probably the 4th or 5th best quarterback. Probably could have gone in the 3rd round, but he probably was never going to go in the 1st round.
Probably
I'd
like to see the ratings.
For sure, the three QBs who were always going to go before him, and we said this before the draft on if you listen to if you're a patron, because you listen to Let's Go, and you heard what we said about it, which was that the 3 quarterbacks that were absolutely always going to go before him, no matter what, was Cam Ward, Jackson Dart, and Jalen Milroe. You wouldn't draft Shedeur Sanders ahead of any of those 3 for any reason, and so. That's why it never made sense to me that he would be a 1st rounder. Those 3 would all have to be off the board before he gets selected.
Weird that Shiloh didn't get drafted.
No, he tested horribly. He's really slow for a safety, or he's like a safety size linebacker.
Signed up as unrestricted free agent to by the Rams
Bucks.
or someone, or
the Bucks.
But no, he wasn't supposed to get. He wasn't really scheduled to get drafted.
I'd like to see the weighted ratings. Like, obviously, ratings of television are down in the last 6 years because of the internet and phones.
This draft had to have good ratings because
everyone's right, because you're watching to see when is Shedeur going to go. Secondary ratings.
It was super interesting. Yeah, and honestly, look, all's well that ends well, right? Shedeur ended up on a team he could actually very realistically win the quarterback battle.
Whoa! Joe Flacco has something to say about that.
Joe Flacco's 86 years old, and
he's 39 years old,
Watson,
William, just like same age as me.
Okay, yeah, but I mean, he's an NFL. I mean, we're talking NFL ball here. So I mean, he's playing.
He's talking NFL ball. I think he'll clinch 2 records this year if he plays the whole season. Joe Flacco.
He just has to beat out Dylan Gabriel and Kenny Pickett, who's terrible, and wait for Joe Flacco to turn into dust on the field.
The Browns are hilarious. They drafted 2 backups to a QB room of 3 backups.
They're going to potentially get rid of one of their.
They're going to deal quarterbacks over the summer.
Yeah.
It's an interesting situation, and more on the draft later in Mark's segment because related to all that, there was a family member misbehaving on Shedeur's slide. And the worst trend, Virginia Giuffre, try to get through this one quickly, was found dead of an apparent suicide. Her family confirmed at her home near Perth, Australia last Friday. We had talked about her late last month. Of course, she's the famous Epstein victim with Prince Andrew, who was, awarded all that money, settlement money.
She's got hit by a bus.
Yes, she did get hit by a bus, Mark. It's been a really rough go for Giuffre before the apparent suicide. She'd been going through, not only been hospitalized, hit by the bus, Mark, but she'd been going through a very messy divorce. Here's a timeline of everything that's happened. I'm popping up on the screen for you.
Great graphic.
Yeah, I can't read it.
Easy to read graphic.
Because the stuff is way too small. But basically, this bus thing, April 7th, 2025. I mean, she was hit by it March 24th, right? We talked about her when she released the pictures from the hospital, March 30th. The witnesses that were there said that the bus barely hit her car. And that then she was hospitalized for a week over that. So she's having some serious mental issues. All these other incidents. She also
released a statement saying that she only had 2 or 3 days to live from
4 days to live. Yeah. And then she made it past that, but then apparently offed herself, just at the end of the month after that. Goodness. So, but then she was going through, so she was due back in court soon for violating her family violence order because she's going through, like I said, a really messy divorce, did not get custody of her 3 kids.
How old and expensive was the scotch that Prince Andrew cracked when he found out that Giuffre was
I mean, nobody had a better weekend than Prince Andrew, sadly, which is really
$1 million glass.
As you said in the chat, Mark, in the text thread, it was the oldest scotch on the planet. No one
it's the oldest scotch
that exists
on planet Earth.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Quick,
he broke it out from like the cellar, the royal cellar.
yeah. I just want to remind everyone that Jeffrey Epstein met Virginia Giuffre at Donald Trump's personal home. Just want to remind everyone that, because I feel like sometimes it gets forgotten.
I think a lot of
It's a sad situation
it's
all
horrible.
around. Obviously, conspiracy theorists
Besides
think
Prince
that,
Andrew, it's great for Prince Andrew.
right. Obviously, conspiracy theorists think that it's coordinated by folks like the Prince Andrews and what have yous.
He's looking at that photo, hoping that a Back to the Future like situation will take place. We're so disappear from the photo.
Yeah,
That's how drunk on scotch he got.
Yeah, he got drunk on scotch, dude.
it's messy, man. And even if it wasn't, it was really bad the way it led up to the end for her. So it's just a really sad one. So it was a humongous trend. Everybody obviously needs to know. Virginia Giuffre, R.I.P. suicide, apparently, and the cops aren't suspecting that it's foul play. There was like a family member at home with her at the time.
This is normal not normal, but it happens to a lot of people who've been seriously abused too.
Yeah, and also she lost her family. She lost access to her family. I mean, it's a really sad situation. Whether it was the conspiracy, say what you want about it, it's sad either way, no matter how you slice it. So let's move on to the best trend of the weekend by far, the gorilla trend on X, what used to be called Twitter. And I'm going to use the word ninja here because of obvious reasons about many conversations that go down on X. And it started out with Dream Chasing Mike tweeted, "I think 100 ninjas could beat one gorilla. Everybody just got to be dedicated to the shit." Laughy face emojis. And that sparked off. You see 131 million views.
And just to clarify, he was using the term ninja not as actual ninja, but colloquially as dudes, an interchangeable word as dudes.
Dudes, right?
Yeah, but ninja is a great way to replace it. But then also it makes you think, because ninjas would have an edge, actual ninjas.
Well, no weapons here. We're talking.
100 ninjas should handle a gorilla. Yeah.
You think so?
Do they have katanas? Or?
We're talking about regular ass.
So
ninjas,
this would be bare-fisted.
We're not talking about
correct.
We're talking about just regular dudes. Yeah.
Bare arms versus gorilla arms. Human arms.
Regular human arms.
And now, do we know if this is a silverback adult gorilla? What type of gorilla?
I'm assuming it's one silverback.
Obviously, that's a stupid question.
So
it's 100. It's 100 dude ninjas. Could they beat one silverback? Everybody just got to be dedicated, is what Dream Chasing Mike says.
Well, for sure, they got to be dedicated.
If you had 100 trained individuals, I'm with Dream Chasing Mike there. If they were trained to handle a wild gorilla, but if it's just 100 random dudes
trained to kill humans,
if it's 100 random dudes, the dudes are fucked. They're gonna be destroyed. And the memes were fantastic, guys. Check it out. Here's Caesar grasping a human's head as the meme, and it says the gorilla setting the last ninja alive free so he can tell everyone what happened. Because dude, the gorilla would probably rip most of the men limb from limb, right?
I mean, there's the commonplace argument that a man could be, it's a dumb argument that a man could beat a chimpanzee because he couldn't, right? This is a similar, I think
they're like 4 to 5 times the strength of us, right?
So the gorilla's going to crush 2 people to death within the first 3 seconds, and if you're not willing to be one of the crushed, you're going to lose. So like like the guy said, you pretty much all 100 have to get on the same page, and you're going to lose. You're going to lose some guys.
It's got to be like the South Korean army or the North Korean army, excuse me, could take a gorilla.
You need to be like playing dirty and like sticking fingers up the gorilla's ass while he's crushing 2 of your buddies' heads together.
Yeah, pile of human bodies is something that can weigh a gorilla down. People don't think about that. And so you could just overcome him with the weight, the heft. But speaking, Marco, to your point, that goes to the next meme about the first guy. And Nero tweets, they're going to talk about what the gorilla did to the first ninja for generations. And then Vizo has a picture of Mr. Krabs around a fire with SpongeBob. And he goes, quote, "He was a bold ninja." And then, they're just talking about the first guy who got his head ripped off by the gorilla. And I mean, people will be, I mean, it would be you to be the first guy would be, you'd be dead for sure, but people would talk about you forever.
The second guy might got taken out by the first guy's decapitated skull that the gorilla hits you with. He might rip the guy's head off and then smash it into your head. The second guy.
It could be. I'd rather be first.
There's going to be some bad stuff going on. Yeah.
If you're in the first 10, you're almost guaranteed to be ripped limb from limb. So
Yep.
I'd rather be first. So then that way there's at least, it lives on. The memory lives on, right? People will be like, well, I mean, the one guy got his head ripped off the first. If it wasn't for him, we wouldn't have been able to bury the gorilla in dead bodies by number 98. But most people were feeling like the gorilla would just whoop their asses. Anthony Moore tweets, me playing dead after the gorilla ripped the first ninja's head off his shoulders, and it's LeBron pretending to be hurt on the basketball.
Looking for a foul,
yeah.
Yeah. The internet loves a hypothetical about men versus primates.
No, right, because one of the main replies actually is a video a dude posted on Instagram last year about 100 men versus a gorilla. And it was like a full breakdown this dude had done.
Did they do
Dream Chasing Mike just happened to bring it back into existence, speak it back into existence. It became, as you saw, 131 million folks talking.
It's always fun. It's like, would you rather fight 100 mini horses or one giant horse? It's like those.
Which would you rather on that?
Yeah, I mean, probably the mini horses.
The mini horse.
Yeah,
at least give yourself a
shot. Which is why I think the gorilla has the edge, because the gorilla is the fighting the mini horses, right? Like the gorilla is
right. No, I think I'm with the Sean McDermott line of thought here. Like, when he tried to pump up his team by talking about Al Qaeda and how they pulled off 9/11. Yeah. Well, and he was like a small group. It was only 6 dudes dedicated to the cause, and they knew exactly what they had to execute. I think that like a jihadist type group could, if they, to Pat's point about the sacrifices and whatnot, if you have a squad of like kamikaze men who are ready to take this gorilla out at any costs, you could get it done.
You need that mentality. Well, you'd need jihadist or like a Viking berserker drugged up.
Exactly.
Because no human being, even if forced in the scenario and realizes their fate, is going to stand up when they see Mortal Kombat fatalities, exoskeletons ripped out of their body.
Yeah, the spine.
The whole spine's coming out of the body. Like you're gonna shit yourself, and like you're not gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna get you, gorilla, after that. Like unless you got.
No, it's got to be. You got to be. I mean, it's everybody's got to take it seriously if you're gonna beat a gorilla to death.
Yeah. Good question.
But yeah, that's a great question. I mean, I could see a trained, but random people, no. Random dudes, no way.
I just asked the internet: has a person ever fought a gorilla? And AI came back so quick with this answer. No.
Why would
you?
Yeah,
no humans have ever engaged in a fair fight with a gorilla and won. How the fuck do you know, AI?
Dude, because we use guns. Because we've net gunned every gorilla we've ever encountered. We've never. Why would a human try to fucking fight one of these things?
No one's lived.
It's so stupid.
Yeah.
Well, hey, whether you're training for a combine to get ready for like a draft, like the NFL draft, or you're just wanting to train to get in better shape to maybe one day fight a gorilla, have I got the app for you, Fitbod. Okay, the Fitbod app. That's all you need. You don't need a personal trainer. You need the Fitbod app. You ever sit there scrolling through social media, looking at tons of workouts, healthy meal videos from all these fitness influencers, and then you just never actually do anything because you're just scrolling, and then you never put to action? Well, it's because you don't have the Fitbod app. You don't need to pay any of those influencers a bunch of money. They're going to send you some plan that doesn't work. Just download the Fitbod app. Tell the app what time you have to work out, what equipment you have to work out with, and boom, it will personalize a workout regimen for you. And it'll track everything that you do. It'll make sure that you don't hit plateaus. And it shows you with instructional videos how to do each one of your workouts. And the best part is it'll ping you. Your phone will just tell you, hey, dumbass, it's time to fucking work out. Okay. Ping, pick up the weights, idiot. Okay. And then the Fitbod app, it whips you into shape. All right. We're all losing weight on it. We're all getting stronger on it. And if we can do it, you can definitely do it. Okay. The workouts adapt to your growth. So each workout is challenging enough to push you to make progress. Fitbod tracks your muscle. Fitbod tracks your muscle recovery so you can avoid burnout and keep up your momentum. It's fine-tuned by experienced certified personal trainers to bring best practices and exercise sciences to you. And like I said, it's got over 1,000 demonstration videos. So every exercise they ask you to do on the Fitbod app is going to show you. It's literally better than a personal trainer. And it's more approachable and affordable. Level up your workout. Join Fitbod today to get your personalized workout plan. Get 25% off your subscription or try the app free for 7 days at fitbod.me/hardfactor. That's shopify.me/hard factor.
Hell yeah. Hey guys, starting your own business is not easy. There's all sorts of random things you have to do you didn't think about, constantly putting out little fires, constantly evolving. And you got to sell some shit, right? You got to make money.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of the whole point.
Mhm.
And we didn't know the first thing about selling. We're not marketing majors. We didn't know how to sell merchandise, even though, we kind of have to in this line of business. So we're like, well, how the hell we're going to figure out how to sell merchandise? Boom, Shopify. Shopify fucking did everything for us. Yeah. Whoa, that was easy. It's all done. Now we just sit back and boom. Thank you, Shopify. You know what I mean? Shopify is the commerce platform behind millions of businesses around the world and 10% of all e-commerce in the US, from household names like Mattel and Gymshark to brands just getting started. Like they do it for Hard Factor too. So basically you get started with your own, design studio. It's hundreds of ready to use templates. Shopify helps you build a beautiful online store to match your brand style. And they do all the fucking work for you. People come in the store, they buy the shit. Shopify just, helps ship it. You just sit back and again, collect, boom. So get the word out like you have a marketing team behind you. Easily create email and social media campaigns wherever your customers are scrolling or strolling, and have them do all the work for you. They're the best. Shopify. It's just, super, super easy to use, and when we love them. So turn your big business idea into Shopify on your side. Sign up for your $1 per month trial and start selling today at shopify.com/hardfactor. Go to shopify.com/hardfactor. Shopify.com/hardfactor. Cha-ching.
Do it.
Okay, so again, I got a couple like family members of people you may know misbehaving. First up is the Secretary of Defense, Pete Hegseth's wife, wife Jennifer.
What about her?
Well, she's let's see, I got a picture.
Is he in the doghouse again? I remember this is certainly
he's
not
he's
his first rodeo, and he's
the leak, right? That the signal chat, right? It came out that he has another signal chat, right, with his wife in it, and a couple other things came out recently. Like he got an unsecured line installed in his office, internet line installed in his office in the Pentagon, which is not uncommon, but that computer is the one he had signal on.
Well, people say he's impossible to work with, which we'll get to in a second. They said the Pentagon's just like walking on eggshells around this guy. But she's reportedly causing, quote, tension in the Pentagon because she's allegedly been by Hegseth's side for everything and is a, quote, constant presence for all things work-related. So she
goes to all of his meetings?
Every meeting, every single meeting.
That's weird.
Yeah.
It's weird, dude. It's weird. It's weird. It's fucking weird.
Yeah. Well, you think that's weird because the other funny allegation is that Pete has put up large photographs of Jennifer on the walls of the Pentagon conference rooms.
It's so okay. I read that too.
What a bitch.
I read that too. It sounds like in the same way that like if you go into the White House,
dude, pussy whip like a motherfucker.
If that's a fake rumor, that's a funny ass fake rumor. Well, I'm pretty sure it's legit. Yeah.
But like
that's insane, dude. You're gonna fucking make your employees look at pictures of your wife all day in a conference room?
Well, hold on.
Yeah, giant pictures of her.
It implies that like he put them on the wall, like because in the government. Like, in the government, right? Like if you go to a governmental building, there's photographs of people that came before you. Like in the same way that if you go to like a company that's been around forever, you go into like, General Motors, there's going to be this former CEOs of General Motors portraits on the wall. Is it that?
Yeah, but what does his wife do? His wife didn't do.
Look at her.
Yeah. I mean, I guess he loves her. That's great.
Sure, but she's not like a military professional, is she? She's not like a member of the DOD.
She's a former Fox News producer. She's a segment producer.
She's a former Fox News show, and you got to look at her now. You got to look at her. He's got a weirder relationship with her than Mike Pence and mother and Doug Christie and his wife. You remember this NBA player that his wife didn't trust him? She went to every road game because she didn't want him to have affairs like the other NBA players. So she went to every single road game, and every time he shot a free throw, he had to like blow a kiss to her in the stands.
Yeah, to her in the stands.
Real bad.
Well, she knows that he cheats because I believe that he had
I'm sure that stopped
with
it.
her.
I'm sure being an overbearing, annoying person stopped him from cheating forever.
You know who else is like this? And same story, Pat, is Tony Robbins. Tony Robbins' wife, he had an affair with, at one of his conferences and left his his fiance or wife for, and now his current wife goes to all of his conferences because she knows what she did when she went to a Tony Robbins conference.
I've actually heard that about a couple other celebrities too. Celebrities that cheated on their wives. The woman they cheated on with it now that they're with that woman is hyper paranoid. It kind of reminds me of that Belichick.
Well, it makes sense, doesn't it?
That what's going on with Belichick right now with that CBS interview where he's on CBS. They ask, where'd you guys meet? His girlfriend's weird, over in the corner saying, we're not going to talk about that.
That's a weird ass interview. What's up with him? And he's
Sounds
wearing
like a similar dynamic.
Sweatshirt. It's a strange thing.
I don't know, man, but no one's been happier than Bill Belichick on the beach doing airplane body.
I think he's just enjoying the fucking sex, right? Like he's just enjoying the sex. If she doesn't want to talk about how he hired her for a night one time, fine.
24-year-old girlfriend when you're 65 and loaded is a little bit different story than putting your wife's photographs in your work walls. This one creeps me out. Who wants to look at a picture of their boss's wife when you're in a fucking conference with the guy?
I found the photos.
And then she has to sit. She's sitting there in the conference. What are you like? You're giving him a work report, and she's like sitting there. What is she doing? What is she like looking at Instagram, like on her phone?
Address her correctly,
dude. Here
like what's happening while she sits there in the fucking meetings? Right. Like what? I don't understand.
So here's one.
Okay, so
it's a photo of her and him.
It's him and her. Okay, it's not. I thought it was like a portrait. I
thought it was like a canvas paint.
I thought it was like a portrait of her. All right, that's not as bad. That's still a little weird.
Still weird as shit. Still weird as shit.
Yeah,
it's not as bad as the headline made it out to be, though.
I agree.
Unless there's a portrait.
I would like to see other ones.
So there's another one. If you look behind Elon's head there's another one of I think his family, maybe.
Yeah,
it's like their wedding. That's like a wedding photo. That's his personal conference room. It looks like.
Is that same?
It sounds like people just don't like him.
Yeah, this story's kind of bullshit.
Yeah, those pictures aren't that bad.
The pictures prove it's bullshit.
He is by far leading all prediction markets, like Kalshi and others. Like predicted, like if you go and see like which cabinet member is going to leave office first.
Oh yeah, he won't make it
way out in front.
So
I
don't know.
Still bringing your wife to every meeting is like strange, though.
Right? That's what I'm getting at. I don't know that it's bullshit. It's not what it made it sound like, but I think that doing
the picture part of it's bullshit.
I think
the reason it was leaked is because they're so sick of her being in the fucking meetings.
But I also think that this is just so strange. Probably if you're a normal Pentagon person to walk in and be like, wait a minute, why is there this photo of you guys right there? What the fuck? Like what?
Well, that's obviously the conference room like attached to his office because every picture it's like his degrees and shit in there. It's like
if she wasn't in any of the meetings, it wouldn't be that weird at all. But the fact that she's in the meetings and in the pictures is a little weird.
Yeah, her coming to the meetings is much stranger to me than the pictures in his personal conference room.
It's like having pictures at your desk, but just way bigger.
I mean, it has 2 rooms.
The other inside baseball. Pictures. So, do you remember like when he got hired? Him and Trump at that awkward press conference, and Trump was like, "And we just hired someone really good, really good. His name's he had like a funny name. It was like why does it escape me right now? It was like Raising Cane. We got Raising Cane in here, right? It was like tough guy, general.
Love those chicken figures.
These were Hegseth's guys. So he brought these guys in, then fired them, then is saying that they're leaking him. So he's freaking out because the reason that the signal group his wife was in essentially was the exact same thing sent to like the cabinet signal is because he is so insecure in the position. It sounds like he's got this group of advisors, his wife being one of them. He's sending the exact same shit he's sending to the fucking vice president and the
the reports are that he might be a little
to his
head
to his tight group.
It sounds like he's not decisive enough himself, or maybe not.
Right, a lot of people are like, is she the brains behind the operation? A lot of that's going on, like
Woodrow Wilson situation.
Yeah, whatever. Anyways, next up, let's get to the worst people behaving badly, and you don't know these people. They are just assholes from Cumberland County, New Jersey. Do you know where that is, Pat?
I don't know. I'm gonna look it up. I don't know.
So a Cumberland County, New Jersey man, and I believe this is the victim. I'm not 100% sure, but I believe this is the victim, was brutally beaten to death by a son and father that were family friends after the victim was told by his 17-year-old daughter that the son family friend sexually assaulted and raped her. And so he went over to the house to confront the kid and the dad, and they answered the door. Here's the dad, 55-year-old Eric D. Hanna. His 17-year-old son just goes by JH because he's a minor, but I'm assuming the H is for Hannah. So probably like a Justin, James, JC, Josh, Jacob, Hannah, one of those.
JC.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
JT.
Yeah. Something like that. So JH, Hannah opens the door, the 17-year-old son, and the dad's, probably pretty heated. He's like, he's with the daughter, mind you. He's like, did you rape my daughter or whatever? And then the son just grabs a metal baseball bat and beats him to death in front of the daughter. And then the dad joins in, 55-year-old Eric Dehanna, with a metal flashlight and starts bashing in the back of his head. So the son was beating him in the front of the head with a metal baseball bat. The dad comes in with a metal flashlight and just cracks his skull up and kills him.
Oh yeah, you probably need to charge that guy as a not a minor.
Well, yeah. Also, if the allegations are true, because the daughter was there, she only got hit once. She avoided most of the serious injuries. But if it's true, I'm going to assume, since they're cold-blooded murderers, allegedly, if that's true, that the rape probably happened too.
Yeah, pretty good indication.
Allegedly, but so those guys were misbehaving. I mean, geez, some family friends, they rape your daughter and then bludgeon you to death.
Yeah.
Some friends with friends like these. Yeah.
Right.
Holy shit. Where was that? So I could never go there again.
It's real south. It's coastal. It's like down by Cape May, Atlantic City, way south.
Oof. Stay out of Cumberland County. Good Lord.
So that's a tough one, but that's family members misbehaving. And then lastly, let's end on the Shedeur Sanders prank call, because while Shedeur was not getting drafted and everyone on the internet was like, either being mad about it or happy about it or whatever, it's two like college-aged kids pranked Shedeur, called his private number, and here it is. Here's what happened.
He's calling him. He's on the phone.
Right, he's calling.
He's ringing it.
Kids are in like an apartment area calling Shedeur.
Ole Miss sweater.
Hey, is this Shedeur? Hey, this is Mickey Loomis here, the GM of the New Orleans Saints. How you doing? This is Mickey Loomis here, GM of the Saints.
He said, "What's up, homie?"
How you doing? Good. How are you, man? Good. We're waiting on you. Yeah, we have. It's been a long wait, man. We're gonna take you with our next pick right here, man. This ain't gonna be legendary. Hey, but you're gonna have to wait a little bit longer, man. Sorry about that. Okay.
Oh my God! He bought it!
So
there's another angle of that too from Shedeur's side at his party by the pool, and he's like, he believes that it's the GM of the Saints, and he's like, sweet, I've been waiting for this call. I've been waiting a long time. And then when the kid tells him you have to wait a little longer and hangs up, he starts to realize that it was probably a prank.
He said, "What does this mean?" That's what he said. He turned around and he said, "What does this mean?"
His family was like,
whoever. This really bummed me out. Watching that, I hadn't seen that angle you just showed me.
It's fucked up. Yeah.
Which was like in some sort of college apartment.
Yeah.
The Shedeur angle really, it just bummed me out, bud. Like, that's just sucks.
He's already having it's salt in the wound. Salt in the wound. I mentioned the Ole Miss sweatshirt because it gives a little bit of football context. Jackson Dart, probably the main person who felt slighted by everything that the Sanders camp was saying prior to the draft, and so Ole Miss fans would be the ones to rub it in.
Well, that kid, he's a football fan. He's the son of the Atlanta Falcons defensive coordinator. The Falcons had to release this today after the NFL investigated the prank call, and the Atlanta Falcons formal statement says, earlier in the week, Jax Ulbrich, the 21-year-old son of defensive coordinator Jeff Ulbrich, unintentionally came across the draft contact phone number for Shedeur Sanders off an open iPad while visiting his parents' home, and wrote the number down to later conduct a prank call. Jeff Ulbrich was unaware of the data exposure or any facets of the prank. Blah, 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 blah. Was the son of the Falcons' fucking defensive coordinator.
Jesus Christ, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jax.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Jack Olbrich. Hey, if you guys know who Jeff Olbrich is? This is him playing football in the NFL.
That's amazing. Look at that haircut.
Mohawk and goatee linebacker.
Mohawk, dude.
It's the Mad Max character.
He's hilarious. He's hilarious. Jeff Olbrich's hilarious. The coach. It's the coach you would imagine his son would do this.
Yeah. Did he give him a wedgie too?
Right.
Dude, talk. Oh man. Oh
It's
man.
so
What?
funny.
Because Pat, we were talking before the show. So the NFL had to investigate it because they do like a new thing now where they hand out burner phones to all of the potential draft picks, especially the high picks, that they have private numbers. It's not like Shedeur's actual cell phone number.
You're not calling their real cell.
No,
right,
these are
right.
created just for the draft. So the only people that have the numbers are NFL personnel.
Right.
So
They send out like 400
They knew it
draft
was
phones to these guys who might get drafted or something.
Yep.
Right.
So they knew it was a leak
insane.
and they found out who it was. And then there was the kid like apologized, Jackson.
Yeah,
On Friday night, I made a tremendous mistake. I'm so embarrassed. And I should, because his dad probably is like, I'm going to get fucking fired and I'm going to come kick your ass.
Yeah.
Right. I like how his friends were like, "You're the king, Jax. This is never going to get back to us.
Yeah.
This is never going to have any other
Why did
repercussions."
Why did they release the video? I never understood that. Like they released the evidence of them
Because
doing
they did it for the gram. That's
For
why
the
they
clout,
did it.
yeah,
Everyone
for the
does
clout.
that shit. I mean, kids.
You're going to get your dad fired, you idiot. Like what?
It's some
Yeah,
dumbass shit.
his kid's a moron.
No one will fucking know. I guess it's possible that they thought that was just his personal cell phone number and anyone could have gotten it. And the burner phone of it all.
They got busted. And people know what he looks like because Jax comes around training camps and stuff growing up, there was people in the football world that knew that was Olbrich's son.
And they got Tyler Warren too, because Tyler Warren slid. He was supposed to go top 10. He slid down to 15. They called him and got him when he was sliding too.
Yeah, they called Tyler Warren, which is not as mean because he went like 2 picks later. But
right, it wasn't a 4-round drop.
Also,
like
not
Shedeur.
the best prank call. I mean, incredible prank.
No,
call
his
to
execution
Shedeur and to get him to believe it. It was like a 10 out of 10 in terms of
The
wow, that's
execution
an
was-
amazing prank. But his his
the ending wasn't
that funny.
I noticed something in this draft because it was in Green Bay, obviously, and I forget which Green Bay player it was. Like I said, got up and took the mic from Goodell and was like, "President Trump said
Matthews.
Bears still suck, right?" Like so, obviously, there's that rivalry there, and they were booing certain Bears players. But what I noticed generally was because the first rounders are there to take the interview. It didn't matter what team, even if it was a Vikings player getting drafted. The general consensus, the vibe was very hyped for these young men, right? Like a lot of them were crying.
I was waiting for them to boo. There was a guy with like ALS in a wheelchair that came out for either the Lions or the Bears, and I was waiting for the Packers fans to boo him. I was like,
No, but they did it. I mean,
are they going to boo the wheelchair guy?
I did think for a
Yeah.
second, is Goodell using these disabled kids as a shield to not get?
Oh, he does. He does for sure. He does for sure. He always walks out on the stage with like 85 people in wheelchairs so that he can't be booed.
I guess
they still boo him when he comes to the mic. It doesn't matter how many Make-A-Wish people he brings out on stage with them.
But my point is,
booed.
it seemed like the vibe was non-competitive, or it was the being happy for these players was more important than the competitive vibe.
Yeah.
So
I
like,
think
why
people
make that fucking phone call? Why make that phone call?
Right. Yeah, I mean, even people who didn't think
should got the number, Pat.
Right.
Like
it is a crazy
huge
prank.
prank.
Like I mean,
Like,
he pulled
it's-
off a huge prank.
huge prank. Could have been funnier. Also
pull
very
off-
mean, but
Pulled off a
big
huge prank. Definitely
You're
very
at that
mean.
party with
Definitely-
all your friends and family.
definitely could fuck up his dad's career. Yeah.
Right.
yeah, his dad's gonna kick his ass next time.
Epic prank, but yeah, definitely mean spirited, but epic prank.
Funny.
Yeah, I like that
release
he had
from the
to-
Falcons.
He had to call Shedeur and apologize. I do like the football of how they handled the punishment. They made that kid call and then give a statement. And anyway, that sucks. All right, guys, let's go to a little lesson about advertising. Henry Ford once said, "Stopping advertising to save money is like stopping your watch to save time." Right?
Oh, good point. Yeah.
He also said, I really like what this Hitler guy is doing. But the first quote,
Hey,
is
so that
true.
was after. Hey, in Henry Ford's defense, that was after the government locked him out of the plastic industry, and they sided with kid fucking DuPonts. So I mean, there's a little bit.
Let's not find any Henry Ford anti-Semitic apologist angle here, please.
Well,
Pat, read some history books, dude. It's not as clear cut as you're talking about.
I mean,
he
Hitler
got
had
all-
Henry Ford's poster in his office. But yeah, I hear you. And there
Titan
was a
of
vice
industry.
versa.
The government fucking went against him though.
I mean,
So
both guys were orators, you know?
Okay, all right. Look, it's not neither here nor there. Okay, the
I
first
think you can
quote
blame
is,
FDR mostly for the way that Henry Ford's
yes, it is FDR's
direction
fault
went.
that
guy was a
that Henry
drunkard,
Ford
man.
was a noted anti-Semite. That literally bankrolled the Nazi Party. But you are correct. Anyway, look, there's many types of advertising, but one that is most effective and can make the biggest splash with the littlest spend is promotional advertising, like a contest or a sweepstakes or like a scavenger hunt. And those in the biz know that holidays are the perfect time to maximize any ad campaign. December to remember. It's easy to like tie your ad campaign to the holiday hype, okay? And
I think
buy
I know where
in.
this is going because you said you're talking about weed earlier.
Yeah, well, especially a promotional ad campaign can really work during a holiday. So when Easter guys lined up with 420, which combined two national and religious holidays on the same day, burgeoning Texas drug dealer Avante Nicholson knew that he had to make the most of the holidays and use his meager budget to bolster his weed sales, okay? And that's when he came up with the idea of a weed Easter egg hunt.
Okay.
Pretty smart.
I'm in.
Pretty smart. Now, Avante
I don't
lives
hate it. The margins. I hope that he is his own supplier in this situation because when you're street level weed dealing, your margins are thin. So giving out grams per egg, you're going to have to make a lot of sales to recoup your losses.
Is it fucked up that I rewatched the Jurassic Parks on Easter?
No, not at all.
Dinosaurs, yeah.
It's not fucked up. But look, okay.
Thought about it. I was like,
Back to Avante and his weed business, guys. So Avante put a bunch of weed into a bunch of Easter eggs, and then like the Beasters bunny, he planted them at 3 different parks, and then one also behind a Motel 6 in Lufkin, Texas, on Easter and 420, where he lives. And that was phase 1 of the ad campaign. He then took to Facebook and announced the contest, posting photos of the eggs, showing each location as hints to where you could locate the eggs. And then he also let his followers know, this is where the advertising comes in, the marketing, if you will, okay? He let his followers know that whoever shopped with him the day of the scavenger hunt would get further hints to the locations of the eggs. See what I'm saying? So, hey, look, guys, come buy weed from me today, and you might be able to get a free Easter egg with a ton of weed in it, okay?
okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Up to a quarter of weed in one of the Easter eggs.
So I mean, it's a great little treasure hunt.
Where's this
for
at?
his?
In Lufkin, Texas.
Yeah, it seems like a hot. They use the word hot when you're going to draw attention from the cops.
Yeah.
Seems like a hot thing to do in Lufkin, Texas.
I don't
Like, I'm
think
gonna be
they
honest with you.
appreciate that.
Avante is not a stranger to the police in Lufkin. He goes by King.
You don't say.
King Tato, okay, and he was a member of the Jack Boy World gang, Jack Boy World, JACCBOYWORLD, and he was arrested back in 2020 for his connection to a bunch of murders. He didn't go down for it, okay? He's out right now, but the cops know him. They're watching his social media, and maybe
Are
they
they big
saw
Boy
his
Meets World fans?
Jack Boy World.
Jack Meets Boy World?
I don't know. Was there a character Jack in that show? I think it's a different kind of Jack, Mark.
All right.
He took to the Facebook. He announced the contest, guys, and
We
it
love
went
Topanga.
It went gangbusters. But a man and his granddaughter who were walking through the park on Easter, probably not high, they discovered one of the eggs and they took it to the police station, and that had a quarter ounce of marijuana in it. And I guess someone had tipped off the cops too, because they combed through Avante's Facebook posts. They put 2 and 2 together, and he's now being sought for felony weed charges. They found 4 of the 5 eggs, though, guys. So if you're a Lufkin
It's not
resident,
his fault if people find them. He didn't sell them.
he didn't sell them. I love this, though. I love the idea that he wanted to just do a
Is that
proper
distribution? I don't think so.
Easter egg rollout. And
Yeah, I mean, by the law, I think 100%. But yes, great idea. I love where his head's at, but it's got to be one of the fucking stupidest things of all time to do in Texas.
that's true. So he's on the run right now for being. He's currently on the run. They're looking for him. Good luck.
You go to any other state and do that shit and not get in trouble.
Good luck finding a guy that plans scavenger hunts. I think he's pretty good at hiding. Okay.
I agree. Yeah.
Anyway.
True.
He's leading clues to where he is.
I love the idea of the promotion.
Yeah.
So half baked.
Yeah. No, I mean he's like his head was in the right spot. He's trying to make moves, make some extra dollars there, but right, yeah, just his location. That's what really got him. Texas, man. They don't play with that.
Anyway, that's the show, guys. Make sure you get out there and have a great fucking day.
The cream of the crop!